Hello everyone, Tina here. I hope you're having a fabulous day. Thanks for joining me. Today we're going to create a card using a few new to me products. I've noticed this company before but never played with any of their products. This is Paper Rose. So I picked up a stamp set and I also picked up a die. Actually I picked up lots of dies because they're such a great price point. The one we're using today is called the Mesh Large. There's a small mesh too. It's a smaller square and I picked that one up too. But I thought this would be fun to make a shaker card with. So we're going to be using this, and then a stamp set that is called Scribble Stars, and there's two sentiments in there. One says reach for the stars, the other one says Merry Christmas, so it's nice versatility in it. We're going to be die cutting with some gold foiled cardstock. Now I picked this up from Michael's just the other day, and as soon as I opened the package, the cardstock started curling. I originally got this to create some file tabs for my die cuts, and I thought it'd be nice to have some gold ones. Didn't work out too well because it kept curling, so I thought we'd use it on a card today. Now, to save a little step from gluing, we're going to use some white liner sheets. These are double-sided excuse me double-sided adhesive sheets, and they're you just peel and stick, which makes it really nice. So when I die cut this out, we'll have basically a sticker background. We'll just remove one side of the release paper, keep the other one intact while we die cut, and then it's really fine lined. You can't really tell right now, but when you die cut it out, the mesh panel here is really fine lined, super pretty. So we're die cut this out. Along with this, we're going to die cut out our background panel. I'm going to use my double stitched rectangle die, the largest one that I have in my set. It's going to leave me a little bit of a white border on my card base. We'll just die cut both of these out at the same time. Now I love the way this large mesh die cuts really nice, especially with the white liner sheets. It went through beautifully. But I'm just going to remove the negative piece here. I'm going to grab my craft pick and we're going to punch this out, which I can't find my craft pick. So I'm going to use my pointy tweezers here. I think this is going to work just fine, but I love the fine detail of this. I love adding textures. If it's not a background stamp or a background die, I think an embossed background is really nice, and I think dies like this just are really versatile. I'm going to punch out each one of these little pieces, and each one of these are sticker backed, so you can save these, and this will make a nice little detail on another project if you want it. I'm going to keep these. I'm going to scoop them up and actually put them in a little bowl, and maybe we can create like a little mosaic background with those. But you can see the fine detail of the mesh, and I like the way that looked, and it's going to save us time. We don't have to add adhesive behind there. Now for my panel, I'm going to take that same mesh die, put it towards the top of my panel. I'm going to tape it down, and then we're going to die cut out this part. I just wanted the outline of my mesh because I thought we would make a shaker card today. I haven't made one in a while, and I think this would be really pretty background for some sequins that I had picked up. We'll just punch out the positive piece here, and then we can inlay that mesh after we have our acetate in here. I'm going to use my Clearview acetate sheets. We'll just flip this over, trim down a piece that is going to fit behind my panel. Now the Clearview acetate sheets are from Stamper's Journey. They're nice heavyweight acetate sheets, guys, and they're full sheets that are 8.5 by 11. I'll link them down below. So if you're looking for a nice acetate sheet, I like these, and I also like the Hero Arts acetate sheets. Hero Arts acetate sheets are a little bit different texture. They're I would say more like plastic, not acetate, but both of those I really like. And then for embossing, I like the Judikins. But I'm going to adhere my clear sheet here, and then our window is ready to go. I like doing this because you can inlay your gold mesh beautifully. We'll just remove the release paper off of the back. This is so nice too because you don't have glue on your acetate. It's nice and clean. We'll inlay our large mesh here, and I think that looks super pretty. we're going to flip over our panel once those little pieces are in there, and then we're going to flip it over and prepare this for our card base. Now at this point, this is where you would want to stamp your sentiment. For some reason, whenever I make shaker cards or add my foam adhesive behind it, I always forget to stamp my sentiment, but that's okay. We're gonna add foam adhesive behind the window here, and then also on the bottom, and this is ready to go. We'll just set that aside. I loaded it up pretty much, which is a good thing, because when you stamp your sentiment on there, you kind of want it full. Now I have a piece of Bristol Smooth cardstock here. We're going to do some stamping with the Scribble Stars set. These are really neat. There's different patterns on here that are really pretty. I'm stamping on Bristol Smooth because I'm going to color in these stars with my Zig Clean Color Real Brush markers, and they blend beautifully on Bristol Smooth cardstock. Okay, we're going to take our sentiment. It says reach for the stars, place that below our little shaker window here, and then we're going to bring in our mini Misty, and we're going to do some stamping. Since I have the gold mesh in the background, I thought we would heat emboss with some gold embossing powder. Normally I like to stamp with my Versamark ink pad, my VersaFine Onyx Black ink, and then go over with the gold, but I really wanted it to be a bright gold because I'm going to be using some pastel colors. So sometimes when you use the VersaFine Onyx Black ink, you can see where you're stamping, but it does dull the color down to make it a little more of a rich gold instead of a bright gold. So we'll ink up our stars here, stamp those. Lovely. And then we're gonna, my craft mat keeps wanting to shift. I'm gonna bring in my gold embossing powder, and we're gonna scoop it over our images here. Now for some reason I kind of missed an area on my large star. I don't know how I did that. Kept wanting to put embossing powder on it, but it just didn't work out. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and melt our medium and our small star, and then I'm going to trim away the large one and restamp it. Nope, not going to stick. Somehow I just missed that area. Okay, my heat gun's heating up. I'm going to melt it so it's a nice shiny gold. And then this one's ready to go. We're going to take the scissors and trim away the piece that the large star that was missing a section there. We're going to bring back our mini Misty, and we're going to bring back another piece of Bristol Smooth cardstock and stamp just the large star. So we'll remove the small and the medium one here. Treat our paper with our anti-static powder bag here, and let's give it a second go. Stamping it with my Versamark ink pad. Sometimes with new stamps, the stamps will grab the paper, and so I only stamped it once, and I'm hoping I got it the second time here. Okay, and these are, by the way, these stamps are quality photopolymer, guys. They're really good quality stamps. So if you're interested about the Paper Rose stamps, they're really nice photopolymer quality. Okay, we're going to go ahead and melt this embossing powder. See how nice and shiny it is. So this one's ready to go. Now while we have our Misty out, I'm going to go ahead and stamp my sentiment. It says reach for the stars. Now I have foam adhesive behind here, and again, this is probably a step you don't want to do. I wasn't sure how I was going to stamp, but we're going to try it out. We'll treat our panel with, again, our powder bag so we don't have excess embossing powder flying everywhere. We're going to ink up our sentiment with our Versamark pad, and then we're going to go over this with the same gold embossing powder. It really coordinates well with that gold cardstock. Now when I'm heat embossing, I was afraid that sometimes when you heat emboss after you adhere things, the stickiness from maybe the foam tape behind it or behind the white liner sheets, I was afraid it was going to pop up, and it did lift it up a little bit. So I'm just holding it down so it'll re-tack itself. But again, I would stamp my sentiment. It turned out great, you can see here, but I got lucky, I think. So I suggest maybe stamping your sentiment before adding foam adhesive. Okay, let's zoom in a little bit. I'm going to bring in 3 different colors of my zig markers. I wanted to show some bright colors. We're going to use a yellow, which is this one. It looks kind of orange, but it's actually a bright yellow. And I'm going to color in my medium star with the yellow. And I have a green and then a pink too. I'm going to spread out the color using my water brush. And I wanted a little bit of a gradient, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to add color to just a few points of the star. And then for the rest, I'm just going to use my water brush, and I'm not going to add a lot of water because, you know, the more you squeeze, the more water comes out. I'm just going to basically just pull up that color and fill in my star. It's going to give it a little bit of dimension. Okay, that's my yellow one. Next, we're going to go in with the green, and we're going to add a little color to a couple points, and then we're going to use the water brush and pull that color out. My kids started school this last week, and I know starting a new school is a little bit difficult, so this is for them. My last one, I'm going to use my pink zig marker, do the same thing, go through a couple points, and then I'm going to spread that color out over the background here. Just adds a little bit of dimension, and I love the pattern on the inside too. The nice thing about the zig markers is it doesn't interfere with your gold embossing, so the embossing still shines through. Okay, once this is done, I'm going to go ahead and use my scissors. We're going to separate these, and then I'm going to fussy cut them out. Since they are a little bit scribbly on the edges, I'm going to just do a little rough cut, leaving a little bit of a white border, and now they're ready to go. Okay, we're going to make a shaker, so I'm going to bring in my card base. I'm going to flip over this panel and just remove the release paper, and just to make sure I get it centered, I'm going to go ahead and add the sequins to my card base. These I picked up. I've had these for actually a while, but I thought I'd make a really pretty background for a shaker. These are from Studio Katia, and they're called Wedding Bell Mix, and it has gems in here and confetti, different size sequins, some pearly ones, some clear ones, just super pretty, and I think it's going to be a real nice background. Now I'm making a shaker that basically doesn't shake. I just wanted that sparkle in the background. I do this often. If you want your shaker to shake, you can double up on your foam adhesive, and then your shaker will shake. But I like it kind of stationary. I think it just adds a little bit something special. Now we're going to add our stars. I'm going to add our pink one up here. I wanted to be careful not to cover up my mesh because I think that detail is really neat. I think right there is going to look beautiful. We're going to pop up each of our stars with foam adhesive, starting with the largest, and then we'll add foam adhesive behind our yellow star, kind of bringing it down towards the sentiment for a little bit more balance, and then we're going to bring in one foam adhesive behind our green one and add that up here in the corner. And I love the way this looks. Okay, after we have this done, we're going to go ahead and I have an empty container in my little sequin mix here. I picked this up at Walmart. It's pretty inexpensive, guys. This little tray kit. I think it was like $8 or $9. It was over there in the bead section in the craft area of at Walmart. Love this to store my sequins. But I'm gonna fill in my jar here. This is how I fill it. I just fill it up. If there's leftover, I'll keep the bag. But if there's not, I'll take the label and then adhere the label on the bottom of it. That way I could tell you guys what the name of the sequence is. So we'll put this back into my little set here, and then I'm going to grab some iridescent stars. These are from Studio Katia too, and sometimes with the iridescent stars they have a blue tint to them, which these do. You'll see when I pour them out there's a little blue tint, and when you add them to your project it'll pick up the colors, but it'll still see the blue tint. These didn't, so when I added them to my project it still kept pastel, which is nice. I'm just going to glue a few next to my sentiment and then a few up in the top right corner. And then that finishes off my card today, guys. nice encouragement card. Reach for the stars. Thank you so much for joining me. I wish you a fabulous day. If you're interested in any products, of course, they're listed below. And if you want to see still shots, guys, visit my blog. I always list the coordinating blog posts below too. Have a fabulous day, and we will see you soon. Bye-bye.